Let's get kinky, shall we? Oh my god, you guys, I just got done watching Pillion, and I have opinions. I have thoughts. Let's get into it, shall we? Now, first things first, I have to say, the marketing on this movie was very, very confusing. They marketed it as if it was going to be like a very sexy, sensual, like fun ride of a movie, and it was kind of a depressing nothing burger of a film. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I was promised a kinky fun time, or as they were calling it, heated rivalry meets 50 Shades of Grey. It was nothing like that. If that were the case, they should have left it on the rack because they were unqualified. All right? Like, this was not the movie I was promised. Someone told this film it was fly and sexy, and it's nothing of the sort. There were some kinky scenes in this, but it's very much like very low tier kinks, and it's very, very tame, and doesn't really. It kind of leaves a lot more to be desired. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like this movie edged me quite a bit because even when it came to like the dramatics and the drama they could have brought us with like a sub dom relationship, the furthest it went for me was like, okay, cook me dinner, bitch boy. Like, that's what you got. That's the most we got. I was like, is that all? Now, I gotta say, it was really pushing it, saying heated rivalry meets 50 Shades of Grey. Baby, no, absolutely not. The big difference here is that heated rivalry is fun. Like, heated rivalry was a lot of fun to watch. Like, it was dirty, it was smutty, but they also packed in a lot of very meaningful scenes that resonated with a lot of people and also showed queer joy, which is so rare in examples of our art. And I feel like what Pillion lacks and where it falls short is that, one, it's based on a novel, and they heavily changed a lot of elements from the novel, particularly the ending. The ending is a lot more grim and melancholy, which, believe it or not, like, shocking coming from gay art. Oh my god, we're melancholy. Yeah, I know. At this point, we're all kind of exhausted with it, and we all kind of just want something that's fun and refreshing. We know our lives are sad. We know we have sadness in our lives. Can we move on? That's kind of how a lot of us are. Like, a lot of us are exhausted. Like, we want to see some fucking joy. And we all signed up for this movie thinking it was going to be a really hot, sexy time because I must say the marketing on this film was very, very confusing. They marketed it to be one thing when it really wasn't. It was a drama. And it was a very, very interesting topic that I feel like kind of never really got explored too often. Or maybe whoever was making this film just didn't quite know how to approach this material in a mature way because they really just scratched the surface of like what a dom-sub dynamic could be, especially when the topic of abuse comes in. Now, this film was misconstrued by a lot of people, I noticed. Like, a lot of people were really, really putting Ray's character on a pedestal, saying, like, this is the guy I want. Like, this is kind of Dom I want. And it's very much like that meme that's going around of, like, the gay guy that's your Dom and calling you a bitch and saying, like, you better have my food ready for me. It's very that. He's basically that TikTok embodied in one character. And not to say that Ray wasn't sexy. Like, he was very hot for an older guy. But it was not like the drop dead, I'm going to lick your boots kind of energy that they were trying to present in this film. And trust me, boots were licked. Poor Colin, who's played by Dudley Dursley. I don't know this actor's name. I only know him because he played Dudley in Harry Potter, like the mean cousin. He is slimmed down, he's playing gay, and he's got the worst hair you've ever seen. Like, he does not know what hairstyle works for him in this film. And you can tell it adds the awkwardness. Like, his character choices in this film were very, very good. He's apparently in a barbershop quartet, which, like, they're just piling on as many dorky things they can with this character to make him seem like he's just, like, the most morose, can't make a decision for himself kind of guy who is so easily going to get pushed around and bossed around by anyone who even raises their voice like a 4 in the level of confrontation. Like, it starts off with him on a blind date. He's doing a barbershop quartet, so he's finishing up his gig, and he meets up with his date, who actually didn't seem like a very bad guy. He seemed pretty nice. Like, it wasn't the rough trade he was expecting with Ray, who he was eye-fucking the entire time he was doing that song. Okay, like, he's singing his ooby-dooby-doos and looking at the guy in leather when he's on a date with somebody else. Rude. But yeah, the spark is not there, and his poor mom tried to set him up, because she was my favorite character in this whole film. Let's just talk about the mom. She's amazing. She's a great actress playing her, and she was my favorite character because she's dying of cancer, one, so she just wants to see her son happy in her last days, and Colin goes and fucks it up. Like, this whole thing is your fault, girl. Like, you could have said no at any time. Like, all you had to do was just grow a fucking spine, get a sack on you, and just say what the fuck you want. I feel like that's the biggest point they make in this film, and, like, that's the one thing they really got right is, like, sometimes the best answer is no. Like, all you gotta say is no. And when it came to his dynamic with Ray, people are kind of misunderstanding Ray. And I can understand why, because he is very, very hot, and the actor that plays him is very hot. But after a certain point, I was watching this kind of annoyed. I'm just like, oh my god, girl, Colin, sweetie, Girl, get up. What are you doing? You're cooking this man fucking dinner. You letting his dog sit on the couch and not you? Get the fuck out of here. Sleeping on the floor. Get up, girl. Let's go find you a home. Like, this is fucked up. And he had the white refrigerator. Yeah, it was fucked up. And watching it is just like, girl, I understand good dick, but this is doing far too much. Like, a safe word had to be established right now. And it's clearly showing that Ray's a shitty dom. He's a bad dom. Like, he's not good at his job. He's bad at his job. And I watched this with Ernie, and he actually said something that kind of like maybe cracked me up. He was like, so basically doms are just fucking lazy. Like, bad ones are. Because when you really look at the dom-sub dynamic, the sub is really calling the shots. They're the ones that tell the dom exactly what they want beforehand. There's a talk of aftercare. Basically what your limits are, what you're consenting to. And that was what was missing from this movie that they did not really dive too deeply into, was consent. And I feel like that's truly at the core of this, and they're just kind of like bypassing that conversation altogether. Like, there's no talk of consent. And it's really irresponsible considering, like, a lot of outsiders are watching this film, and it's being marketed to a lot of people who are not in the kink community. And it's a responsibility us as queer people have, especially queer filmmakers that are trying to tell queer stories. You have to put these things in there. Like, you just have to. There has to be talk of consent, or at least like a mentioning of this, because when especially this kind of story that's taking place in our modern times would not fucking fly. Like, the kink community polices itself. Like, if this guy is an abuser, it would have gotten around to everybody. I'm just saying, it's fucking true. Like, anyone that's in the community, that's all we talk about when someone brought you up. It was like, he's a shitty dom. He doesn't respect consent. He doesn't respect people's boundaries. He does not believe in consent. Fuck that guy. Like, there'd be whole slam pages dedicated to this motherfucker. Like, you couldn't step in a bar anywhere without somebody mad dogging this guy. Like, that's the most unbelievable part of this movie. Like, no wonder he fucking drifts from town to town. Like, because he's a piece of shit. Like, he fucking sucks. And there's no talk, and Colin has no talks or discussions. I don't know what the fuck Colin's into. Like, you never really understand, you never really know what his kink is. I basically just being treated like a housewife is what he wants. Which, I mean, pop off, sis. So, like, if the dick's that good, I guess. But, like, I could not get down with this. Like, the second he told me to cook dinner, I've been like, excuse me? It's truly one of those things where a conversation was needed. Even the most minute conversation of just like, look, motherfucker, no, I'm not doing all that. Also, the way he treats his parents in this movie is laughable. It's like, you're living in these people's houses and you're like wiping your feet all over them. Like, all this mud you're tracking back on these people, like, poor people, like, they're trying their best and they're like a really great family, and it pisses you off because, like, it's so seldom you see very accepting families, and to see like the queer child treating them like shit really irritates you. Like, Colin is very Carrie Bradshaw in this, where he's just like, bro, I get you like the guy, but goddamn, like, can we please? Like, he doesn't grow any sense or really start to act up for himself, and until it's too late. And the one thing I did like about this is that with Ray's character, the second he's asked to commit, he immediately fucking pulls back. Like, he's such an asshole and so full of himself and so selfish that he cannot give Colin 1 inch. Like, he's been given miles and miles and miles, and he's just given 1 day of commitment and can't even fucking do that. Like, we're entering spoiler territory now, so if you haven't watched Pillion yet, be sure and watch it. I watched the uncensored version, and it's a real nothing burger as far as, like, if you're watching this for kink and sexy time, you're not getting it. Unless you're into wrestling singlets, there's like a 1 minute long scene where you see them wrestle each other, and he puts them into the Mexican surfboard stretch. That's it. That's the most kink you're going to get. Or if you're into bootlicking, he licks boots in this movie. That happens. That did happen. Now, the ending, spoiler territory while we're at it, spoilers now. The ending of this movie is vastly different from the book. Now, in the book, Ray actually dies in an accident. Like, he's a motorcyclist, like, he's in a biker gang. And he's a biker. And he actually ends up dying. And that's why Colin can't find him, because he's dead and he has nobody to get in contact with this guy. Whereas in the movie, Ray's apartment is just empty one day when he comes back to see him. Like, everything's gone. It's like he, like, fucking picked up and left town. Like he never existed. And Colin's just left high and dry with no closure in sight. The book's ending is, of course, like your atypical bleak, melancholy, gay story. Like, the tragic gay love tale that we are so tired of hearing. Like, it's so fucking exhausting. Like, okay, we get it. We have sad times. Like, I feel like that's also a thing that people had a problem with the marketing of this movie. Saying it was like Heated Rivalry meets 50 Shades of Grey is not true, because Heated Rivalry was fun. It was a lot of fun. You watched it, you had a very good time, and they actually snuck in some very, very poignant, meaningful stuff that stuck with people. It brought people to tears. And what it did that this movie didn't is that it expressed queer joy and made you feel good, because it's one of those things that like is missing in a lot of our media, is that we long for these things that straight people get to do all the time in film. They get to experience joy and they get to have happy times. And it's so seldom and so fleeting in our own material, especially when it's made by us, that we get that. And I feel like it's a huge fucking problem with people that make art in our community. It's like, it doesn't have to be so fucking sad all the time. Like, it's so fucking tired. It's a trope at this point. Like, TV Tropes has it listed, the bury your gays, for a fucking reason. We are the ones that bury them the most. Like, try something new for a fucking change. But I digress. I feel a way about either one ending. I could take it either or. Like, the sad ending is probably better for the drama of it all. It probably would have been a payoff for like people watching this film that have no idea what this story's about. But I kind of like the open-endedness of it. Like, it just emphasizes what a piece of shit Ray is. Like, he's that much of a fucking punk bitch that the second he's asked to commit and act like a boyfriend, he can't fucking do it. Like, it's just not in him. He's not that person. The one thing the movie doesn't do is frame him that way properly. Like, he's never really, like, looked upon. Like, people don't look at him like he's a fucking piece of shit. If anything, people look at Colin like he's lucky to have this guy. Like, again, there'd be slam pages dedicated to this motherfucker about what a piece of shit he is. Like, the kink community polices itself. It get around everywhere. It'd be the first thing I brought up when someone brought up his name. Okay, it's like, oh, that guy? Oh, girl, you're with Ray? Run now. Red flags, girl, red flags. And that's what's missing from this movie is, like, modern gay times, you can't get away with doing shit like that. If you ignore consent, you ignore boundaries, and you're a selfish dom that doesn't consider the, like, needs and aftercare of your sub, that shit would get around, and people would bring it up. It'd be all we ever talked about at gatherings. Like, you would not be allowed at IML. We'd all fucking mad dog you if you walked in the room. Like, I want to be in that universe where I see that slam page. Like, what's the gay UK version of the dirty? Because you know Ray's shit's all up and through there. Talking about every score and every sore. Okay, come on now. That's the most unbelievable thing. I think if this is more of a period piece, if this took place in like the late 80s, early 90s, sure. This kind of irresponsible behavior would definitely make a lot more sense and be a lot more timely. And it would actually have that melancholy backsetting of, you know, the AIDS crisis to fall back on to really bring you that drama. In a modern day lens, it was kind of boring. It's kind of boring. Like, he's just an abusive piece of shit. And that's kind of how I feel. And eventually, you get tired of rooting for Colin because he has a few moments of this, especially when his mother does pass away. And he's grieving and he's not getting the aftercare he needs. He's not getting the, like, response he needs from the guy that he has been devoting himself to. Like, it's just nothing. He's putting in so much and getting nothing back. Like, even sexually, it seems like I don't understand. I don't know what the fuck Colin's kink is. Like, what is his kink? Like, being treated like a fucking 1900s housewife? Like, learn to love yourself. It ends with Ray getting the fuck out of Dodge. We don't know what happened to him. And his father's driving around looking for this motherfucker. Looking for every biker gang on the side of the street. Seeing if, like, Ray is there. It's so sad. And you're just like, oh, girl, move on. Your mom is dead. You have damaged your relationship with your parents. Like, you're just trying to repair, like, because he wasn't there. He allowed himself to, like, be on the beck and call, this useless motherfucker, and missed all these major events that were happening in his life that he could not bring Ray to because Ray could not commit. It's like, that's the real sad tragedy of this. Like, you got wrapped up in some guy that was no good for you, girl. Like, you should feel foolish. And at the end of it all, Colin is on the apps, and you hear a voiceover from Colin basically specifying what his boundaries are. That's his big takeaway from this, is he learned what boundaries were. And baby, you should have been known that. You're a whole ass adult. Like, you should know what the fuck you want and what you don't. Like, I could excuse this behavior if you're like in your early 20s, but you're pushing 30, mama. Like, you should know what the fuck you want. If you don't want to get choked out, you better make that fucking known. This is it. Like, I avoid this movie. I wanted to watch it on streaming because it's like, I didn't know how to feel about it because I was very swerved by the marketing. The marketing was very confusing, and just everything I was hearing made me not want to watch it, which is fucking nuts. It's just like, I wish they would have, like, put a lot more care into this and were a lot more cautious about their marketing. It seems like a lot of people, especially in the kink community, were, like, divided. But as far as it goes, you could skip it if you need to. It's not going to give you anything that you haven't seen before. A nothing burger of a movie. Like, nothing really happens in it. I wanted to expand upon this irresponsible commentary I'm making because the marketing in this film is very confusing. Like, the A24 trailer, they're calling it a dom-com, which, again, this is not a comedy. There's nothing funny about this movie. Like, there's not one funny moment in it. Like, it's not camp, it's not a good time. It's very much a very serious drama and a story about abuse. And it's kind of wild that they marketed this way. I guess because the idea of kinky sex is fun, which, yes, it can be. But this is not that. It's essentially a story of abuse. And can we talk about the reviews they put in the trailer, like calling it like the most romantic story ever told? It's not romantic. There's nothing romantic about this movie. I'm sorry. Like, it is an abuse story, and to market it that way is just gross. The biggest problem I have with this movie is that it treats the topic of domestic violence very irresponsibly, especially in the marketing, and the way it was promoted is like a very fun, sexy fantasy. And it's really not that kind of story. And I don't know why it ever got past screening for this. Like, I get, like, Alexander Skarsgard is hot, but it turned into this thing where people are excusing this kind of toxic behavior as something sexy when it's not. And people are really missing the point on it. It's essentially the story of a guy with terribly low self-esteem who gets taken advantage of a toxic man who exploits his insecurities and masks his abusive behavior behind a kink. And it's never called out, and it's never brought to the forefront, and I think that's irresponsible, and I did not like that about this movie. And about an asshole who doesn't know how to turn it off. Like, he takes their kink dynamic into everyday situations, which is wildly irresponsible, and the film never calls him out on it, which is crazy work. Also consider the novel this is based on takes place in the late 70s, where this would actually make a lot more sense as to why his brain is kind of, like, cooked the way it is, because in modern day lensing it does not work. Like, people would have called this shit out. I think the biggest crime of this movie of all is that we don't take Colin's abuse seriously. At the end of the day, he is a victim in all of this. He's being taken advantage of. You'll walk away from this thinking like, girl, this could have been a short. This could have been a 10-minute conversation. I did not need almost 2 hours of this because it was punishing after a certain point. I was like, look at my watch, like, when's this shit done? A few things that I did like showing like real human bodies. Like, there is a part in the movie where you see them at the park and he's with all of his biker friends. You see like a lot of like different bodied leather guys enjoying gay festivities and having fun. And you can see like Colin's part of the group, they like him and they're treating him like a person. And it's the only time that ever happens. He's getting all this warmth and all this acceptance from everyone except the guy that he's dating. It's like, and the guy he's dating never wants to like acknowledge him anything else other than like the guy that sleeps on his floor. How did you go weeks with this motherfucker and not feel a type of ways about this? Like, it's nuts. Like, he has no conversations whatsoever. Like, there's no conversations being had. It's just taking orders. It was exhausting. Let me know if you guys watched Pillion. Let me know what you guys thought or what freaking annoyed you. I want to know, because like I watched this movie just like a big sigh. It was a big mood for me, y'all. All right. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section. Let's have a discussion because I've been dying to talk about this movie for a minute now. Take care of yourselves and I'll catch you all in the next one, okay? Bye! Well, it's over now. Click my next YouTube video. Like, comment, and subscribe.